Hi there and welcome to Apple World. It appears as though the federal authorities are setting Oprah up to get uncovered next on the grounds that the receipts they stacked up are wild and Oprah has been laying low-key recently. However, it looks like the roads aren't going to let her off that simple. The federal authorities just dropped some stunning news and it's not looking great for herself. And assuming that you thought her past show was chaotic, this could take the cake since now her name is being connected to Diddy. Yet truly how the world is presently, it's not wild to hear Oprah and Diddy in a similar sentence in light of the fact that they've been tied for a really long time, and we should be genuine assuming that anybody's been enveloped with more outrage than Diddy. It must be Oprah. There's been tales for a long time about making things happen in Hollywood, functioning as a controller to keep VIPs in line for the business's tip-top. Now Oprah has continuously been praised as an image of dark greatness in her media realm. To her magnanimity, she's been over here. She's fundamentally to do enormous things, independent, very rich person, all things considered, yet these new claims could truly mark her picture cause they're chaotic. However, on the outside, Oprah has the entire awesome individual of color thing going on in light of the fact that she's gone through years advancing dark greatness and all that great stuff on her show, yet at the point when you look somewhat more profound, there's things that begin to get it tatted are coming to agitate industry insiders forward and the tea they're spilling about Oprah charm. It is wild even before the federal authorities got involved. However, 50 Cent was at that point over here, sounding the caution, discussing how Oprah's been disappearing while handily figuring out how to keep away from a few significant embarrassments some way or another in spite of this wreck. However, she's supposedly been attached to, she remained on top furthermore, for quite a while. Individuals had no thought what she was purportedly similar to in the background, yet 50 being 50 chosen to attempt to uncover her, yet even however he had a great deal to say, it still didn't raise an adequate number of warnings like it ought to have yet. Hello, basically he said, his PC, and assuming there's one individual in Hollywood you don't need on your case, it's 50cc. He is just about as tenacious as they come, and he's a definitive savage in Hollywood, and he clutches hard feelings for years out and ensures that they keep the show going. So assuming that he's on your tray, best accept things are going to get chaotic. Yet when you choose to look past his savaging and muddled standing, 50 Cent has a milder side with regards to advocating dark equity. In spite of all the show he blends, he's perhaps the earliest to make some noise when dark craftsmen are off base. Also, he generally appears for them. As a matter of fact, he's going to take things up a score with this impending Diddy narrative and has vowed to give the returns to support casualties in South Africa. However, this isn't his most memorable time supporting people either, on the grounds that he has been attempting to uncover Oprah briefly anyway. At the point when he attempted to uncover her, the ass it were soil he had about her was the means by which she supposedly kept down dark craftsmen in the industry for not a great explanation, and frequently made a special effort to repudiate them. He blamed her for being a harasser, whatnot. That is quite terrible. It's nothing looked at to the cases that the federal authorities are making about her purportedly passing young ladies around. However, before we get to what the federal authorities need to say, we should pause for a minute to discuss the claims of Oprah being obscure. Now you all recollect when Monique got debased after her running with Oprah, right? T50 was one of the initial not many that had her back, which is something uncommon in the business where most craftsmen would prefer to keep silent than to conflict with a person of Oprah status. And when Taji P. Henson uncovered that she was come up short on for her job in the Variety Purple, 50 didn't sit around idly offering her a spot in his undertakings, ensuring she would get compensated what she merited. As per 50, Oprah has a long history of destroying dark specialists for no genuine explanation. Tie-on. He guarantees she utilizes her stage to demolish craftsman notorieties since she can take Toni Braxton's circumstances. For instance, back in 1998, when Toni was battling monetarily after awful speculation and misrepresentation consultants, Oprah welcomed her on her show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. They concurred before the show that Toni would demonstrate her innocence and offer her side of the story. However, Oprah has chosen to make it work for tossing conceal at Toni's monetary choices and making her look downright terrible. It was an entire treachery, and Toni wound up more terrible of it than before. Oprah truly crossed the line with this show as well, and it didn't stop at welcoming Toni on her show. It deteriorated in light of the fact that Oprah, as a matter of fact, taunted Toni for losing Everything I mean, Tony, who grew up with cash, was previously managing the shame of liquidation, and Oprah decided to make fun of her for not having the option to bear her planner garments any longer. She even recommended that Tony could need to sell her extravagant possessions just to scrape by, and expressing something to that effect to somebody who just went through liquidation and on public television is an unheard of degree of obscure, and Tony attempted to maintain a reasonable level of control. What's more, keep it cutesy and coy, grinning through it, yet you realized she was so awkward she was in front of an audience, and she needed to coarseness her teeth and bear it. However, as before long as she finished off stage, Tony was keeping down. She called Oprah out for being rude, making it clear how vexed and awkward she was with the entire meeting, and genuinely, can you, indeed, even falter? You don't anticipate that sort of conduct from an individual of Oprah's notoriety. She was so cracking me. Ian, to me, I was stunned. Do you take obligation regarding what is happening that you're in right now? 100%, 100%, 100%, 100 couldn't accept it, because I cherished her so much. I appreciated her, and I admired her. Furthermore, she basically condemned me, and quickly she caused me to feel this large, this enormous. That second totally changed my profession. It made individuals look down on me. Well, years after the fact, Monique raised the second when she was battling against Oprah. She composed, "If you feel that Oprah just disparages individuals of color, this is on the grounds that the people of color has been made essentially undetectable. See for yourself with our sister, Tony B. In the event that you neglected or never realized, now, we should not disregard how close Oprah came to totally wrecking Monique's profession after Monique dealt with the film Valuable. Monique wouldn't go on a press visit without getting compensated, and this made Oprah so distraught that she left her method for G. Edding Monique boycotted. She knocked Monique by calling her negative, like this interview, where she said, "It's the law that assuming you meet negative with negative, you will just have a combustive negative power of energy. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You need to transcend it. You need to rise above it. I could never go as far as attempt to meet someone where they are negative. Try not to mind what their identity is." And wouldn't she know it, she did likewise to Absurd, making a special effort to alter a meeting with him to make him look awful when he was on Oprah's show for the press run of his film Crash. She out of nowhere shifted gears and began barbecuing him about his music and his utilization of the nerd, and Luda wasn't going to, however, allow her to pull off that either. He called her out on the radio, put an Oprah on impact for her surprising line of addressing. It was sure remarks that she had made about, "You realize I was there for an accident for the film Better Bet." Leave it also. Essentially, she expressed something about not concurring with my music. Yet she figured I did perfect in the film, and of course I was up there with the entirety project of Crash. Thus I didn't fundamentally felt like that should have been said. "You realize you disagreed with my music. And regardless of whether you concur with certain melodies I made, say you disagree with specific tunes. Don't say you just try not to concur with all of my music, right? Right, however, that wasn't you all what?" NL Chris's meeting broadcasted on the show. She altered and removed specific pieces of his reaction to her inquiries. To make him look terrible, she had the option to express out loud whatever she said, and afterward I had my rejoinder, and at the point when I saw the last show her chum were in there. Was in there, yet yours weren't in there, mine weren't in there, so it just seemed as though I sort of took it, wow. Like, was simply calm and didn't, yes mom did indeed. M.O. yes, now this is all beautiful obscure. However, it's nothing contrasted with the charges by the federal authorities about how Oprah was supposedly Diddy's lady and allegedly assisted him with getting young ladies for his oddity offs. This shouldn't be astounding, however, on the grounds that Oprah West amigos with Harvey Weinstein, and English entertainer Caden Honorable once called out both Oprah and Naomi Campbell for supposedly assisting Harvey Weinstein with utilizing her. She asserted that Oprah supposedly dealt her for Weinstein's supposedly assisting him with trying her, and he was with individuals in which I appreciated sincerely. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who went into the room and was swinging off his arm and just appeared to be an exceptionally dear companion. However, the more out of control part, this is all that while she was purportedly pimping out young ladies to Harvey Weinstein and Diddy, she was attempting to conceal her tracks by claiming to remain against article in the industry. I like when she arbitrarily chose to do a narrative into Michael Jackson after he passed in 1993. Michael Jackson, without a doubt, Oprah, an uncommon and exceptionally broadcasted interview at his Neverland farm. This was a critical second given Michael Jackson's with great intensity. Confidential nature, the meeting not just supported Oprah's distinction, yet additionally set her association with the Jackson family furthermore. Particularly Michael Jackson and Oprah later guaranteed that she remained companions until his passing, continuing forever about how they had a dear fellowship anyway. Following Michael Jackson's demise, Oprah out of nowhere did a 180, and she turned on him. She turned out to be vigorously fixated on the Leaving Neverland narrative, which cast Michael Jackson in an extremely regrettable light. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.